Hello and welcome to another comedian's interview for my blog and podcast, A Rich Comic Life. My name is Richard Gill and my blog describes my experiences of watching over 1,500 comedians and counting for the last 50 years. I'm delighted to welcome my guest today. It's Hannah Margaret. Yay!
Oh my god,
Hello.
you're right.
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
I'm so pleased you can do this.
Oh, thanks for having me.
My
Sure.
pleasure. So, it's going to be a chat all about your comedy career. And I'd like to go right back to the start, please, and ask you, how did you become a comedian in the first place?
Well, I mean, the short answer is that I've been an attention seeker since birth. So, yeah, so becoming a comedian felt like the next natural step. But really, I won't go fully into it because you don't need to know what happened to me in 1992 or anything like that. But I trained as an actor.
Right.
Acting's always been like my first love. Always wanted to be an actor, but I wanted to be like the world's most serious actor. I wanted to be like Daniel Day-Lewis, but
Of course.
as a little shitbag from Leeds. Do you know what I mean? And I've done like Shakespeare, done all sorts of bits and bobs. But while I was in training, when I was getting my degree, there was a module where we couldn't decide. We were just given parts, and I can't even remember the name of the dramatic play that I wanted to be in, but I was forced to be in Abigail's Party.
Oh, what a play!
Yeah, amazing. One of my absolute faves now,
Yeah.
but I was raging. I was like, I'm not here to do comedy. Like, what is this? And the way that I felt after getting all those laughs and kind of I was like, oh my God, that's quite addictive, isn't it? And after that, everything that I kind of could pick and choose to do while I was training to be an actor, everything was comedy. My full dissertation we had to like write a play and produce it, and it was me and three other amazingly funny women, and we did a play called A Womb with a View, all about being a woman, and
I like it.
yeah. So it's all because my tutor Sally Cook, God love her, said to her, "No, babe, you're going to be Angela in Abigail's Party, and you're going to like it." And then, sort of after graduating, got an agent, was going out for auditions and bits and bobs. I was even in a sketch group for a while in Manchester with my brother, so kind of writing and doing sketch comedy.
Yeah.
And then it was in the pandemic, and everyone was getting dropped by their agents, and there was no work, no nothing. I just thought, I've got no creative control over my life, but I just want to make people laugh. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. And immediately became obsessed.
When we saw you, I was very lucky to be a judge at the Hull Comedy Festival. And when we saw you at the New Comedian of the Year, you stood out. You absolutely stood out. You have this natural ability to welcome an audience and are very warm with them, and it means you can practically say what you like, and you didn't want to leave the stage until you made that audience laugh, and we could tell straight away. And I was so pleased for you, and I still am.
Thank you. That's really lovely. Thank you.
So you began. What sort of year was this?
It was my anniversary is on my 3-year anniversary is on Valentine's Day.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank
And
you.
So you're based in Leeds, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my uncle, God bless him, and his family were from Menston,
Oh, right.
and I know Leeds well. It's got a very good comedy circuit, Leeds. So there's some
Yeah.
really good comedy clubs there. Did you get into the comedy world by doing 5 minute slots in pubs and things like this? Is that how you started?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the classic sort of give you a 5 and then come back and you can do a 10 and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. In fact, no, I did a 10, it was sort of weird because it was Valentine's Day, and I made it about me. Made everyone come and watch. and, yeah, it went really well. But then I had a preconceived notion that all little pub gigs would be like that, and they're not. Because it was quite busy, because it was quite a few people's first gigs and that sort of thing. So loads of people. It was like everyone had done Rent a Crowd, and yeah, but then obviously that's only one person that's seeing you, so you do the
Yeah.
5 spots, and
Just built
to
from
one man
there.
who's not interested in a dog, like but you've got to put in the graft, haven't you?
The reason I ask that is that this blog and podcast supports absolutely everybody. It's not just the big hitting comedians. It's anyone who's willing to get up and have a go. And I am regularly seen at these gigs where loads of comedians are on the first or second go, and I am the bringer. I am the person with the laugh who will go along, and if they're good, I will laugh like a drain.
Yeah,
And
you've got a great laugh.
well, I should ensure this laugh, I tell you. But so it's wonderful to watch comedians develop, and that's another reason why the blog exists. I've got every single entry of every comedian I've ever seen at a particular venue, and watching them grow, because I'm listing all the venues, is incredible.
Yeah, that's
So
amazing.
and I'm so pleased, as I say, for you, because to win a prestigious award like Hull can only mean greater things. I'm so pleased for you. I really am.
Thank you.
So, did you ever find it difficult at all getting into comedy? And by that I mean, did you find venues difficult to book, or did you have an agent from early on, or how did it work?
No, I still don't have an agent now. That is something that I've made, but it's on my kind of wish list for my
Right.
career. But I think I was very lucky in the beginning
Yeah.
with kind of like chance encounters with people. And actually, excuse me.
Okay.
And actually, it just kind of, so I'm sure you know Silky, who Silky is.
Yeah.
He was at one of my first gigs.
Right.
I think he was at my maybe 5th or 6th gig, and he was very, very kind enough to put me on 3 middle spots for his big nights that he does. And the way that helped me immeasurably, like at the start, having the backing of someone like Silky, that just
Exactly. Yeah.
really kind of,
Yeah.
that helped me set. And it was just completely random that he was in a basement in Sheffield at the same time I was,
Wow.
and he came to the gig about 4 minutes before I went on stage, and yeah, it was just, I had a couple of things like that when I was first starting out that was just really good luck.
I think a lot of comedians need not necessarily established acts, but good acts around them to give them the experience. I've talked to a lot of comedians on my podcast, and the general consensus is it's all about experience. The more you do, the better you get. Yeah.
Oh, massively so. You know, you can't. What's the thing that people say? Is it 10,000 hours to get to be a master of something? Or,
Yeah.
you know, that's a lot of 5 spots, isn't it?
It's all experience.
Yeah, and even the ones where the gig doesn't go your way, or it is to literally 2 people and the rest of the comics, it's still vital stage time. And
I was gonna say I think everybody must have a bad gig in order to be a better comedian.
100%.
Yeah.
They're the
And
ones.
you just pick yourself up and start again.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
Yeah. It's the old Sarah Millican adage of start again at 10 o'clock the next day or whatever it is, and it's a clean slate.
Yeah,
very much so. What do you like to talk about on stage? Do you have any specific themes?
Well, when I first started out, I had this big thing of kind of I'm gonna talk about stuff that kind of any gender, anyone in the world could talk about. Yeah, I used to talk about like meeting the time that I met a shark. Conspiracy theories, that sort of thing. But then I've definitely pivoted into the most authentic thing that you can talk about, which is your own experiences.
Yeah.
So inevitably, I do have things where I talk about being a woman and experiencing things that only women experience. And I remember talking to a few comedians at a new material night, saying, I don't know if I'm gonna. I was saying it was just after I'd written my material about having the contraceptive coil fitted, and I was like, does that just immediately alienate half of the room? And they said, well, no, because kind of how often do you go to comedy nights and see men talking about having like a colonoscopy or a prostate exam or whatever? And you know, if it's done well, it's the human experience.
Yeah.
So I like to talk about, and just not everything is a hit, is it? But I think
you talk about what you know, as you say. It's as simple as that. I always remember I once had to do a training thing, and I was told that I had to teach somebody something, and it would be recorded. And then after it, there'd be questions and answers. And I thought, this is an absolute godsend. I'm going to show them how to do the only card trick that I've learnt in my life. And I stood up, and I forgot it. I hadn't done it for about 5 years. And I was like a rabbit in headlights. It just didn't work. But so, fail to prepare to fail. It's all that. How do you remember all your routines? Do you have a way of remembering them all?
Yeah, so I think with the acting background, I am very precise with learning my routines. I get very kind of not worked up about it, but I like to be, like you just said, prepare, fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
Yeah.
I had a tutor that used to always say to us, he was very like old school thespian type, and he used to always say to us that an amateur will learn their lines until they remember them, but a professional will learn their lines until they can't forget them. And that's what I get like with doing comedy as well, because I think there's enough moving pieces going on, but if I know in my head, this and you can do this back to front, inside out, standing on your head, then it just takes away a lot of the nerves for me, because I think I know it's in there.
I am never going to forget that line.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it?
It's a good line. Another thing for me is, other than this blog, the most professional thing, the most creative thing I ever did was write a play. and
Oh, wow.
and we're going to put it. And I was going to do it for the Edinburgh Fringe, which I still
Yeah.
might do, but we put it on for Comic Relief years ago.
Amazing.
And it's about me coming down from Carlisle, my home city, to London. I've got a successful girlfriend, and I haven't got a job. And it's all about me going through a series of interviews. I've never had an interview in my life, and I get better and better and better at doing it.
Yeah.
And it's all there's loads of monologues and everything in it.
Yeah.
And I ran out the first night I did it, and after 10 weeks, again, I forgot it. And I wrote the thing. And it's like, oh, God, And it's so frustrating because I knew it, and I knew it backwards.
Yeah.
But, of course, it's all about the experience and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. It's fascinating. Really is.
Did you enjoy doing the play?
Once we got over the first night, we did 3, and once my mate came on, he did all the impersonations of the interviewers, so it was easy to bounce off him.
Yeah.
But nights 2 and 3 were word perfect. It was just that first night there because it was like, oh my God, yeah. But it's called The Applicant. And it's about my name in it is Norman Oliver Hope, so I used to get rejection letters saying D-N-O Hope, which was my favourite joke of the whole thing.
Yes.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to you winning again at Hull, because can you tell me, was Hull the nearest one that you could go for, the most prestigious one you could go for? How did you get into the Hull comedy competition?
So my sort of dearest friend in comedy is Jack McLean.
Oh,
and
he's coming on here.
He's what a legend.
Yeah.
And I always caveat it within comedy because he does that to me as well. He once brought me onto stage saying that I'm his best friend in comedy, but he has got a life outside it. He was like, in the comedy world, she'd be my maid of honour, but in reality, she's only getting an invite to the evening do.
Brilliant.
Thought,
yes.
You little bugger.
Congratulations, by the way, on your impending marriage.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to talk about him a lot on stage as well because it winds him up.
Yeah. Too right. Sorry, I interrupted. Carry on.
So, yes, obviously with Jack McLean being my comedy bestie, he won it the year previous.
That's right.
Said, mate, you have to get involved in this. He was like, you've got to at least throw your hat in the ring, like, because even stuff like saying that you're a finalist for something can be huge on your CV, So it was like, you've got to throw your hat in the ring. And I'd done a few gigs in Hull, kind of in the lead up to the applications for the competition, and always had the best time. So I thought, this is a bit of me. And it all just lined up really, really nicely for last year's comedy festival because I was Jack's support on his show, so kind of felt a bit involved in the festival as well. I thought, it took away some of the nerves, I think, like for the night of the competition. And obviously, when you see the list of previous winners and stuff, it is a really nice club to be a part of.
It is. It's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, and so I just thought, I'll send my best 10 that I've got, send a little clip, and then was chuffed to make it to the final. And then, had a really weird day the day before. I fell downstairs and sprained my wrist.
Oh dear.
And so it was all a bit like, but then kind of just, you've got to get your game face on, haven't you? And,
the show must go on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what they always say.
It's amazing, Hull Comedy Festival, actually, because both Gary and Jed, the co-directors, have been on this podcast, and they're two of my favourite people in comedy.
Yeah.
I had never met them about 2 or 3 years ago, and I like to go to a lot of comedy fringes and festivals. They're my holidays. And we went to Hastings, and the comedian we were booked to see couldn't make it. So the directors of Hull, the directors of Hastings said to Gary, "Can you go and fill in for this show?" And he went, "Yeah," he's like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
And he walked on, and I thought, "Who the heck's this?" And he said, "Good afternoon, everybody. I've got no idea what I'm going to talk about. Has anybody got any questions or comments?" And I yelled out from the audience, "I can't believe that after 30 years of eating 2 packets of crisps, why I've got diabetes." And Gary, out of thin air, produced this routine about eating crisps. That was one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
I said to him afterwards, I said, "That was genius." And what happened in my anniversary year was the guy who runs the British Comedy Guide wanted to celebrate it. So I wrote him my 25 show-stopping moments, and I put Gary in there, and it was so lovely because I don't think they realise just how great they are. Those two, they really are. And they work so hard to put on a great festival, and it's in such a good area as well. Hull.
Yeah.
So
They work so hard. I love them both.
yeah, it's so great. And congratulations again, because the sky is now your limit. I'm telling you, as you say, it all goes on the CV. What is your view of competitions? Do you like doing them?
I do. It's nice when you win.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, you're going to go for more? You're going to go for more, surely.
Yeah, I am going to go for more. I like that. So this year I went for the BBC New Comedy Awards. Didn't make it onto the telly, but I made it to the step before that.
Wow, congratulations. That's fantastic.
You. Yeah, I was very pleased with that. I got to do a lovely sparkly gig at the Frog and Bucket. It was fab.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
And I'm still new enough that I can try again next year as well. So
brilliant. Go for it.
Yeah, but then even, because I've got on my CV now that I was shortlisted by because that's what they tell you in the email, that you've been shortlisted, but you've not quite made it to the semi-finals. So I can still say that I've been shortlisted.
Yeah. It's so deserved. So, do you suffer from any nerves before you go on stage? And if you do, how do you cope with them?
I do. I really do suffer with nerves. I get nervous before everything, which is wild that my 2 biggest loves in life are acting and stand-up, when I get so nervous before them.
Are you all right with this?
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
Right.
This is just Snapchat. This is fine.
Thank God. So, do you have any? Do you have any routines or anything before you go on stage?
Yeah, I'm a bit weird actually. I have to put my jewellery on in the right order.
Right.
Or I've got to take it all off, put it down, walk away, come back and do it again.
Wow.
That's not okay, is it?
Right.
I like to listen to music if I'm not if I'm not doing like a car share or whatever with someone where we're just chatting. I like to sort of get in the zone and listen to some music. Before the Frog and Bucket gig for the BBC, my mum and dad came with me, and I made them. I made them listen, because my get pumped up for the gig songs are "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" by PJ and Duncan.
Just a classic.
Yeah, I was making them listen to that on the M62. And
I'm so glad you're here.
And then made them listen to the entirety of Eminem "Lose Yourself."
Well, there you are.
Yeah, my mum was like, I think I prefer PJ and Duncan. I was like,
you're better than this.
On.
Good for her. I bet she loved it. Would you say that when you walk onto a stage, or when you speak into a microphone, or when you get your first laugh, any nerves that you may have go?
Yeah, that is very true. After the first laugh,
Yeah,
you think just relax and kind of, because if you can't enjoy it, then what's the point? So
exactly.
you've got to be able to just trust yourself, trust that you've put the work in, and that you know what you're going to say. It's going to be fine. It might even be loads of fun and a really great gig, and it won't be if you're so nervous that you sort
As
of
I,
can't be
as I
fully
say,
present.
as I say, when you're on stage, you have this wonderful confidence that the audience just want to listen to, and it's not just me. My friends who I was with said she stood out that night when we saw her. So, congratulations! I'm so
Yeah.
pleased for you.
Yeah.
And now you're speechless.
That's it's so
let's
lovely.
let's move on. As I said earlier, my holidays are going to fringes and festivals. In particular, I love to go to the Edinburgh Fringe. I've been going there since 2005. I've missed two, and I see about 50 shows when I'm there in a week. I need a holiday by the time I come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I absolutely love it. What's your experience of fringes and festivals other than Hull? Do you get to many of them or?
I've done more of them as an actor than as a stand up.
Yeah,
Because I've not, because the thing with doing Edinburgh as a stand up, if you go in with your first hour, you want it to be amazing so that you can get a bit of attention from it.
yeah,
So I've not really felt ready to kind of do that. But I do love going to the Fringe as an audience member and
yeah.
kind of taking it all in. I like Leicester Comedy Festival as well because I've got my beloved fiance is from Leicester, so we've got family there. Also done that. We took a Win with a View to Leicester Comedy Festival as
Oh,
well.
brilliant!
Um,
Are you going in 2025 to Leicester?
well, yeah, I'm hoping. I've applied for some sort of, when venues have had dropouts for shows, I've applied to take mine down there because I didn't know if I was gonna sort of like doing a full bit myself. And I've applied for a few like split bill things and
Yeah,
uh,
it's a nice way to get in because it's not just you, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I might see you there because
yeah.
I'm hoping to go myself, so that'd be nice. Any others?
That's it really.
That's it. No. Hey, as I say, Hastings is very good by the seaside in
Yeah.
June, and Hull, of course, and we go to Brighton as well. Brighton.
Yeah.
Is a
Oh,
good one.
I have applied for some bits
Yeah.
in Brighton because I've got a friend that lives there.
Yeah.
I'll only go if I can stay there for free.
Another good one is Buxton. I went there one year. That's very well run. But Edinburgh, there's an argument now that and rightly so, that it is expensive. It's getting very, very expensive. It's more of a it's not so much of a fringe. It's more of a promotional event. However, the experience of going is just incredible. When you step off that train, it just hits you.
Yeah.
It's the most extraordinary thing, and the lovely thing for me about the blog and the podcast is having done it for about 5 years now. All the comedians recognise me, so I can't get to the shows.
Just getting mobbed on the Royal Mail.
It's so good. Oh my God, it's Rich. It's God. It's so good. It's so good. Can you describe your writing process and where you get your ideas from? Do you write things down? Do you record things? How do you do it?
A mixture of a few things, really. I do like to write stuff down. I struggle to just kind of sit at a laptop with an empty Word document and sort of go, let's say something funny. So I tend to handwrite stuff first.
Yeah.
I've got some weird little notebooks that I like to make lots of scribbles in, but then sometimes I'll write something down and then we'll have to carry on with my day, and then when you come back to it a day later you think, what was that? Like, what was that all about?
Some genius idea. I was like,
yeah. And like the notes app on my phone is so weird. I wrote down with no additional context, just the words distinctive panic. And I don't, that was like 2 years ago, and to this day I don't know. But I didn't delete the note in case it meant something at the time. But I like to stand up in the kitchen with a whisk, because it feels like a good microphone replacement, and just talk nonsense and record it and kind of see, if you have like an idea when you're in the shower, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, oh, I need to talk about brunch or whatever, then the next day I'll just do some improv about brunch in the kitchen and see where it takes me.
I would definitely keep going with writing the notes down on the phone, because I believe the comedian Mark Watson has he's got thousands of these just words for ideas.
Yeah.
And I think he should publish it as a book, because he uses it in his set. Just, what was that? What was it? He just reads them off, and they're hilarious, some of these ideas. So keep doing. Do you write notes down on your hand for new material or anything like that?
I don't really like writing notes down on my hand because I've got quite small hands.
Right.
So I couldn't fit much on them.
Right.
But
I also think it's a bit of a cop-out as well, isn't it? Because you keep doing that.
Yeah, and I don't like to. It sort of takes you out of it a bit. When you kind of. And there's only been a couple of new material nights where I've taken a notebook on stage with me and just kind of had it open at the side, just as a prop, a crutch if I need it, I suppose. But I always make the same terrible joke when I walk onto a stage with a notebook. I was like, don't worry, I'm not doing like feminist slam poetry, guys. It's just new material, and it's just the shittest thing, but I can't stop saying it. Physically can't whenever I have my notebook in my hand. So I like, because I just even if it's a new bit that I then throw away, I obsess over learning it, and
it's good.
Rightly or wrongly, I guess. But
it's good. Once it's in, you can play around with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can kind of, if something, inevitably something will pop into your head while you're on stage, and you'll think, that's a better punchline. So you can just throw it in. But yeah, a lot of my writing starts with a lot of madness in the kitchen. I think I've scared the postman a couple of times. Just like I found to be like, oh, I do comedy. And it's like,
Have you had experience of performing the comedy in different parts of Britain?
I've done. I did a gig in Wales the other week and was like, I'm an international comedian.
Of course. Were the audiences any different?
I don't think.
No.
People say audiences in London are different. I've never done stand-up in London.
Because that's where I'm based. London. Yeah. And I mean, you can literally go every night if you wanted to.
Yeah, I bet.
There's so much on. The reason why I asked the question is that the wonderful comic Ken Dodd had a giggle map of Britain.
Oh, wow.
And he could judge who would be funny, which joke would be funny in which place.
Oh, that's amazing.
Everyone went to. It was extraordinary.
Yeah.
So he had a wealth of material for Carlisle, A Wealth of Material for Newcastle, and they're all
Oh
different stuff,
wow.
you know. And it's a good way of building up and judging who your
Yeah.
your audience is, really, I
Yeah,
suppose.
definitely.
Um, do you have any ambitions as a comedian? And what I mean by that is, would you like to present a chat show on TV or anything like that?
I would love, it's probably quite a delusional thing to say, but because I've been watching it obsessively since I was younger, I would love to be on Live at the Apollo. That is like a dream, you know, when you find yourself making a wish on an eyelash or something. But that is, I think so. I'm 33, so I think when I was a teenager, it was like the height of kind of panel shows and things like that. You know, it was when you couldn't move for like Mock the Week, 8 out of 10 cats, all of those sort of things. So I would love to be on a panel show as well and just kind of have, the panel shows where they all drink out of mugs and you're like, I know, babe, I know that's prosecco. Like that's what I want to drink prosecco out of a mug and have Greg Davis take the piss out of me. Like that would
What a
be,
comedian!
yeah, I'd be like, this, you can shoot me. I'm happy now.
The comedy club I go to does the warm ups for Live at the Apollo,
Oh wow.
and some of the acts that you can see are going to be superb on it. You can
Yeah.
see them warming up. I've just seen Greg Davis do a work in progress. He's on tour next year,
Yeah, I'm
and
going to see him in
oh,
Sheffield.
he's one of the greatest.
I
And
love him.
I'd never met him. I like to meet all the comedians afterwards and photographs and everything, and I'd never met him. And I'm sitting in the front row, and he walked on and he said, he said, "You're my age, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm, nearly 60." He said, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "How many times in a night do you go to the toilet?" And I went, "6." And he pulled one of his amazing looks, and he went, "My God, sir, you need a hospital." And then at the end of it, when I did meet him, he went, "Your laugh is insane." Just the loveliest bloke. And he just sat
Yeah.
there with reams of stories. What a life he's had. I bet he'd be very, very good on tour. It's a good shout out, Greg Davis.
Yeah, so this will be the fourth time that I've seen him.
Yeah, it's funny,
I
man.
love him.
I've
Yeah.
seen, what was it? The one throwing balls at something.
Oh, firing cheese balls at a dog.
There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you. Yes, that's the tour I saw. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
was superb. Brilliant. Okay, so following on from that, who makes Hannah laugh? Who is Hannah's favourite comedians? Did you have comedy growing up?
Yes. Yeah. We we've I've always loved comedy, and when I was a teenager, in particular, me and my brother could probably recite word for word Peter Kay live from the Bolton Albert Halls with the regularity that we used to watch that. Just completely obsessed with it. My brother's an actor as well, so just an insufferable pair of siblings.
No.
But we do both obsess over like learning lines and things like that. But
Yeah.
I think that comes from how often we quote things at each other. We grew up being like, I'm going to obsessively watch this until I know exactly what it is. So Peter Kay has always been like the
God.
yeah, just a
He is
Christ-like
brilliant.
figure.
There is no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was completely obsessed with Lee Evans growing
Oh,
up as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Two great shouts.
yeah, and Caroline Hearn
Oh,
is
bless her.
just, yeah, I think she is just one of the greats, one of the
Yeah,
British
I
greats,
totally agree.
just iconic, and what she did kind of for female comedians as well, just like blazing a
Yeah,
trail and
yeah, yeah,
going,
yeah.
bitch being unapologetically funny.
Yeah.
Just she's amazing.
We once went. Me and my brother once went to see Steve Coogan, the man who thinks he's it.
Right.
And we walked in. We didn't realise it was press night, and Ricky Tomlinson was at the bar.
Oh wow.
And before we walked in, we were raving about the royal family because it was like any other family in Britain, really, just sitting by the TV, raving about this show. And he walks in and went, "Oh, mate," he said, I said, "I think you're the funniest thing on television." He went, "Well, Caroline's over there. Go and thank her." And there was this little shy, beautiful girl in the corner just waving away, and it was such a memory, and a big grin and everything. It was lovely, and it's such a brilliant show. The lines in it were priceless. I think she's great. You mentioned Peter Kay. I first saw Peter Kay in Manchester on a bill of 5 acts, and he was 4th on, and I laughed so hard at him I missed the 5th act. And I said to my mate, I said, he's going to be a superstar. And I had to go up to the 5th act afterwards, who was Dave Gorman, and apologise.
Oh, wow.
I completely ruined his act. My friend who I lived with, we were both massive Peter Kay fans. The Mum Wants a Bungalow tour.
Yeah.
And we went to the Hammersmith Apollo, and I laughed so hard he missed the show. He couldn't hear the show. So I had to get him a DVD for Christmas and then leave. But Peter Kay's, I think if you get comedians who are one step above telling jokes, and Peter Kay is just like, he's funny anyway. Like you look at Eric Morecambe or Tommy Cooper with the Fairs or things like that. They're not doing anything, and you're laughing at them. And the first one I ever saw live, age 7, was Les Dawson at Scarborough.
Wow!
And he was amazing. We saw him on holiday, and then a year later we saw Tommy Cooper, and he was just. I thought, I've got the bug here. There was a little bed on stage. He's lying on it, and one woman in the audience is crying with laughter, and he hasn't done a thing. He's just lying on this bed, and it trickles round, so everybody's crying with laughter. And perfect timing, he pops his head up, he goes, what, somebody come on. Just a magical man. And then, of course, come down to London. My first Comedy Store bill featured Linda Smith, God bless her. She was wonderful. And I've seen them all. There is a section in my blog called The Ones That Got Away, and top of the tree were Morecambe and Wise. I would have loved to have seen Morecambe and Wise. They're the reason why I do my blog. And I interviewed Gary, the son, Eric's son, on here.
Oh, wow.
And that was incredible, just to talk about living with his dad and everything.
Yeah.
And so I've had some very, very special moments. So please, everybody, have a look at the blog. Anyways, no, it's not me. So that's basically the comedians. Following on from that, like me, do you go to a lot of comedy gigs as a member of the audience, or did you?
Yeah, my family, we're the kind of people who go, you don't need any more shite in your house at Christmas, so here's some tickets for something.
Nice.
And it's always my mum goes, I'm not buying any more bloody landfill.
I like the sound of your mum.
She's fab. I think it's probably her fault that me and my brother are insufferable. Well, and my dad as well. We're both just brought up with astronomical levels of delusional support.
Fantastic.
And now we're both freelance idiots. But yeah, always going to see comedians. And living in Leeds, we get so many good ones at the City Varieties. Everyone wants to play the City Varieties.
Yeah, it's such a good venue. Barry Cryer started life there, the City Varieties, and I was the last person to interview him. On here, and what a lovely man. He's one of the greats. He come on, and I said, "Oh, Mr. Cryer," I said, "it's so good that you're here. I'm such a massive fan." And he coughed, and he went, "You're the one." And that man's written for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and because he's from Leeds, so yeah. But City Variety is a great venue. Great venue. You must have seen some loads of good ones.
Yeah, like do you know the with you saying before who my favourites are, one of my favourite tour shows I think that I've ever seen was at City Varieties, and I think it was maybe 18 months ago. And it was Nick Mohammed as Mr. Swallow.
The fact that the act is supposed to be amazing. It's
It
on my list to
was
see.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was so it did the whole thing on roller skates. Like so he's got all the material and he's just barreling about on these roller skates. And you just couldn't have ever predicted what was coming next. And it was just so clever, so well written and kind of perfectly performed. It was just, yeah, it was amazing.
That's brilliant.
And I was, one way you're just crying with laughter and just you felt like you had to keep on your toes because you didn't know what was coming next. It was amazing.
That's the magic. A reason why I do it. You get to a point where you're crying with laughter and you cannot laugh anymore.
Yeah.
And then they say something else, and you just can't carry on. It's so good. If you're on a bill of say 5 acts, and you're on first, would you stay and watch the rest of the acts?
Oh yeah, it's like the only reason why I wouldn't is if I was like doubling or it was 5 hours away or something. But yeah, generally speaking, because I think it's really interesting to see everyone's approach, because you can just learn from people all the time, because you've got, it's like a science experiment, isn't it? Where the conditions are the same, but the outcomes can be very different. Yeah. So it's always good to, even if you've not, maybe it wasn't your night, there's no point, going home to cry about it. You might as well try and learn from it and take a lesson from it. So yeah, I do like to, and just to support your fellow comedians, because it's a weird old thing to do in the evenings.
So it's a wonderful thing, and don't ever forget it. You're doing a magical thing, and it's so true, because it's similar to me doing this. It's like I support everybody doing, as I said at the start, and what's not to enjoy? It's such a uplifting experience, the whole art form. Yeah, it really is. I've much enjoyed chatting to you. It's been absolutely wonderful. You've been a fantastic guest. Just before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say? So where people can find you on social media, you doing any writing, any podcasts, anything like that?
Yeah, so on social media, it is at Hannah Maggie 91. That's Instagram. That's where you can find out what I'm up to and what's going on, because I'm not always sure.
So we have to go to the website.
Yeah, you've got to go to that Instagram.
Have you got any podcasts or any writing or anything like that?
Nothing really at the moment. After coming off the back of doing You Okay, Han, at the festival, I kind of feel a bit bereft. Because I was working towards it for a year. Yeah. So now I'm a bit like, oh my God. So I'm just kind of honing like my sort of club 10, 15 and 20. That's kind of where I'm at the moment.
Well, the nice thing about You Okay, Han is that you have a show.
Yeah. Exactly,
and you can expand it, or you can do what you want with it, because that show was outstanding at Hull this year. It really was. It was just like laugh a minute. And you're a very, very, very funny woman. You really are. You're so talented, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much. I like to leave my guests speechless.
I know, I'm like, go have a little cry in the kitchen.
Well, you deserve all the success, you really do. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.